Well, how about this? We're standing right outside the world-famous Maracanã here in Rio de Janeiro, of course, site of the 2014 World Cup final. On Saturday night, though, its kid brother, the Maracanãzinho, will play host to UFC 179. Jose Aldo versus Chad Mendes, #2 for the UFC featherweight title. Hello again, everyone. I'm Ariel Helwani in Brazil, being joined by Brazil's own, the Brazilian beast himself. Guilherme Cruz is in the house, and Guilherme, it's great to see you in person. We never get to see you in person, so it's so great to be here. First off, tell the people who don't understand about, what this stadium and that stadium is all about. Why is it so special to have a UFC pay-per-view here?
First, welcome to Rio.
Thank you.
It's great to have an event here in Maracanãzinho, because it's such a historical place for MMA and Vale Tudo, and Maracanã is the temple of soccer. So it's great it's like a test for maybe a UFC card at Maracanã in the future. So it's amazing.
I'm always curious about the buzz in Brazil before a fight. How is the public reacting to this one? This is, the first time in maybe, a year and a half since they've had a title fight. Last time it was Jose Aldo as well. What's the buzz been like?
It was slow, maybe 10 days before the fight, but it started growing. A lot of friends asking about the event. So it was slow, but the pace was rushing around the last week or something like that. People are now interested. Is going to air live at Global TV here, so everybody's going to watch it.
Have a lot of people been talking about the fact that Jose Aldo is the last remaining Brazilian champion, and that there's pressure on him to keep the belt, to be, at least one guy for now, Brazilian champion? It seems like just yesterday, all the champions were Brazil, and now he's the last one left after Renan Barão lost. Has there been a lot of talk, and do you think he feels that pressure?
Yeah, people are talking about it. A lot of fans lost interest in MMA now that a lot of Brazilians lost. People in Brazil they love champions. If you're not a hardcore fan, they just want to see Brazil winning champions and go to a card where all Brazilians are going to win. So if you lose 3 titles in 1 year, 2 years, that's damaging to the sport in Brazil. So there's a lot of pressure on Jose Aldo now about it because of it.
And do you feel as though the fans will even lose more interest if he loses? Like, could that be devastating to the market if he actually loses the belt?
Another title loss on live free TV is not going to be good for the sport. So I believe it would be really bad for the sport in Brazil if Jose Aldo loses.
What about on the flip side? If he wins and defends the title successfully here, can he take that next step, being almost Anderson-like? Because it seems weird to me that he's held the title for so long. He's fought here so many times. He ran into the crowd and celebrated, yet he doesn't feel like an Anderson, Nogueira, Vitor type guy. I know he's younger, but why haven't they taken to him? And do you think if he wins tomorrow that it could help him take that next step?
The way Anderson won his fights was different. He just went there and always pulled something crazy, something amazing, impressive. Jose Aldo hasn't been so impressive. If it was the Jose Aldo from WEC, it would probably get more attention from the fans and the media here in Brazil. And Anderson had the luck to fight Vitor, who was a huge pop star here in Brazil. So if Jose Aldo had someone like that, it would be great for him. Maybe that guy is Conor, so who knows?
We'll get to Conor McGregor in a second, but what are you expecting to see on Saturday night? The old Jose Aldo, aggressive, going for a finish, or the one that we've seen in his last fight and a little bit before that?
I think that all the hate that he has towards Chad is gonna push him to fight more aggressively. And when he's fighting in Brazil, he often does fight more aggressive. So everything combined, being the last champion, fighting a guy you don't like, everything's gonna converge to Aldo being an aggressive fighter. Maybe that would help Chad to counter with takedowns and get him there and take him there and continue the fight on the ground, working and getting Aldo tired. Who knows? But I think Aldo will be more aggressive on Saturday.
Also, there seems to be a rivalry between Team Alpha Male and Novo União. Novo União, a very proud team, and lately they haven't had the best stretch with Barral losing and then the weight cut and all that. Do you feel like he also feels some pressure to keep a belt with the team as well and to help them get back on track?
Yeah, they had a good relationship in the past. Faber came here, went to Novo União. They went to a Shoto Brazil event, which is owned by André Pederneiras. So they had a good relationship. When TJ beat Barão, everything changed, and I think that's another is another fact that's going to push Aldo forward, to get him more motivated to defend his title and get revenge for his friend.
So what do you expect to see? Break it down. What's your prediction?
I think it's a tough fight. I think if Chad fights with the right strategy, doesn't get too excited to stand there and bang and fight, he can win this fight. Taking Aldo down, gassing him. Aldo tends to get tired in the later rounds. If Chad can keep him in the fence, get him tired, he can maybe win a decision. I mean, I'm leaning towards Chad Mendes, but it's a really close fight. Yeah.
Never call this man biased. A Brazilian is picking Chad Mendes, right?
I believe Jose Aldo is more complete. Is a better fighter, but I believe that Chad can work with the right strategy and win this fight.
By the way, this main card is taking place from midnight to 3 a.m. locally. Is that an issue for anyone here? Is anyone complaining about that?
It's not the first time, but media, us reporters are complaining because we won't leave this arena until 5:30, maybe 6 a.m. So, well, gotta do it.
Yes, part of the perks of the job, the great MMA reporting job. Sometimes you got to stay up a little late. You mentioned Conor McGregor. He did a Q&A here earlier. It was the most unique Q&A that I've ever seen. I've never seen a hostile crowd like that in a Q&A session. They weren't asking him any questions. They were just insulting him and threatening him. What was your take on what happened there? Were you expecting that?
That was crazy. I wasn't expecting that. Chael Sonnen came to Brazil. Chael Sonnen was #1 enemy here in Brazil for years, and he came here. Everybody wanted to take pictures with him, hug him, autographs. I thought it would be the similar thing to Conor, but man, it was crazy. When the moment he stepped there, people booing him. Saying, "Come on, I'm a purple belt and I'm gonna kill you. I'm gonna beat you." It was crazy. I didn't expect that. It was bizarre. Yeah.
Do you feel like his presence has made this fight more interesting?
For us media, it did, but I don't think that the fans are more excited because he's here. But
he's maybe made the division more interesting,
yeah,
right?
Definitely. I was talking to these two other reporters this week. Jose Aldo beats Chad Mendes. Who's next? Cub Swanson maybe, and then there's no one left to him. So Conor bringing interest to a division that maybe nobody cared that much 6 months or a year ago.
Let's talk about the co-main event, Glover Teixeira versus Phil Davis. Both of them last fought at UFC 172 in Baltimore. Both of them lost. Wasn't their greatest performances. They're, of course, fighting tough guys. Who has more at stake going into this fight? Who has more pressure on their shoulder? Phil, who talks so much trash about John Jones and lost, or Glover, who just lost the title fight?
That's an interesting fight. It's a clash of different styles. Glover, I see Glover as a guy that will try the most he can to keep it standing and use his boxing. And Phil Davis trying to take him down and work with his wrestling and submissions. It's an interesting fight, but I believe Glover has the edge. I believe he's going to be able to stop Davis' takedowns and capitalize on standing, maybe win a decision.
You don't think he knocks him out as he's predicting?
In the first round? No.
And then, of course, everyone's talking about those two main fights, the main event and co-main event, but which other fight in particular are you most looking forward to?
I look forward to William Macario against Neil Magny is an interesting fight. Magny going 4-0. Macario last fight was pretty impressive. It was entertaining, and I'm looking forward to Felipe Arantes against Andrew Fili. Should also be an interesting fight. It's a great matchup.
All right, looking forward to that as well. I'm also looking forward to getting some acai here. Guilherme has promised me acai, but I've been here for almost, what, 8 hours and not one bowl of acai yet.
You know, last trip, 8 hours was like 3 acais.
Yeah. So I have some work to do. UFC 179 is just hours away now. MMAfighting.com, as usual, will have great fight night coverage led by this man. You don't want to miss it. We're going right over there. World famous Maracanazinho. How about that? Here in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. Jose Aldo versus Chad Mendes 2 for the UFC featherweight title. For Guilherme, I'm Ariel. Thank you so much for watching. Enjoy the fights. We will see you on Saturday night.